Welcome to the Non-Negotiable Living podcast, where we're building lives by design by creating non-negotiable habits around fitness, family, faith, and financial freedom.
Ladies, have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? You're eating better, moving your body, cutting out snacks, and yet the scale does not move. Or worse, you feel more bloated, more puffy, and more stuck than before? You are not crazy. This isn't about willpower or some secret superfood you're missing out on. One of the biggest invisible blocks for fat loss is actually stress, and specifically cortisol. It's your body's main stress hormone, and for so many busy women, especially moms balancing careers, kids, life, cortisol is quietly running the show. So welcome back to Non-Negotiable Living. Today we're going to dive into cortisol and why stress and cortisol can block your fat loss progress. So first off, I want to paint you a picture. Imagine a day where you overslept because you were up late answering work emails. You skip breakfast, you rush the kids to school, and then you fly into your first meeting already running on coffee and adrenaline, and by 2 p.m. you're starving, you're reaching for anything quick. By dinner, you're exhausted and craving comfort food. Does this sound familiar? And it's not just about a busy day. That's a stress-induced hormonal storm. So cortisol spikes in the morning and never fully comes down. And your body gets stuck in a fight or flight mode if you don't work to actively try to reduce it. And in that mode, your body does not care about fat loss. It's just trying to survive. So here's what cortisol actually does inside your body. First off, it raises blood sugar levels. Cortisol tells your liver to release glucose so you have quick energy, which is great if you're running from a tiger, but not so great if you're sitting in an office. It also increases your insulin. So that blood sugar spike means that insulin comes flooding in. It can often be stored as fat if it's not used properly. It also impacts our hunger hormones. So cortisol throws off our ghrelin and leptin, which are hormones that make you feel hungrier and less satisfied after meals. It also promotes fat storage around the belly. Cortisol specifically triggers visceral fat storage, and that's the stubborn midsection fat that so many women struggle with. And then to top it off, it interferes with our sleep, and poor sleep rises our cortisol even more, creating a vicious cycle that starts back over the next day. So when women say, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but nothing's working, I always ask, how's your stress? How's your sleep? Because if cortisol is running on high, your body is literally going to fight you in losing the fat, no matter how clean you eat and no matter how hard you work out. And sometimes overworking out or eating less can increase your cortisol even more, which exacerbates the problem. Now here's some good news. You don't have to quit your job, move to Bali, or meditate for 2 hours a day to lower your cortisol. I mean, do it if you can, but most of us can't. Small, consistent shifts can make a huge difference. So for one, eating breakfast within an hour of waking up. Something with protein and carbs to bring your cortisol down naturally. A lot of women will tell me, I don't eat breakfast, I don't wake up hungry. That's a stress response. We should all get hungry within the first hour of waking up, or our metabolism isn't running efficiently, or we're living off of stress hormones. The next thing is walking daily. Not a punishing workout, but simply just walking and moving our body, especially outside, because this tells your nervous system that it's safe, that it can calm down, that it can release stress and go back to burning fat. Now, strength training instead of endless cardio. Cardio can sometimes spike our cortisol more, especially if we're doing HIIT workouts. So lifting weights builds muscle and helps balance our hormones. We have to prioritize sleep. No doom scrolling late at night. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep when you can. Doing breath work or mindfulness work. Even 2 minutes of deep breathing between meetings can help re-regulate your cortisol and calm your nervous system. We also have to fuel our bodies. No starving it. Undereating makes cortisol worse. Eating enough protein and fiber stabilizes our blood sugar levels and helps keep our hormones steady. So I want you to really hear this. If you have been stuck, it's not because you're broken, it's not because you're lazy, it's not because you're destined to feel this way forever, it's because your body is smart and it's protecting you. And when you learn how to work with your hormones instead of against them, fat loss actually becomes easier. You stop fighting your body, you start working with it, and your body starts working with you. So if you've been living in that constant stress cycle, coffee in the morning, wine at night, exhaustion in between, I want to challenge you to take one step this week to lower your cortisol. Maybe that's eating a real breakfast. Maybe it's going for a walk without your phone. Maybe it's actually going to bed on time and not scrolling before you do it. Pick one and just notice how your body responds. And if you're ready for the kind of program that doesn't hand you workouts and meal plans, but actually helps you manage your stress, balance your hormones, and finally see results, DM me with the word ELITE, and I'll show you how we can build a plan customized for your body, your lifestyle, and your goals. So you don't just lose the weight, but you can keep it off for good. Until next time, keep working on your non-negotiable habits. Keep trying to bring your cortisol and stress down so you can effectively see the fat loss goals that you are after come to fruition. You guys got this.